Good morning, everyone. I'm Christy Stark, Director of Communications for the City of San Marcos, and we want to thank each of you for coming out and being part of this today. We also want to thank you for masking up and helping us as we try to honor our COVID-19 precautions. We will be going over the tragic acts incident that we have experienced this weekend. We're very sorry again to have to come and talk about something like this with our San Marcos Police Department family. We will take a few questions afterwards, just 2 or 3 questions, and then we do have the officers' pictures you'll see here to my right. A few things. We know we've already had folks that have reached out to us and with their generosity to talk about donations for the families, and we will have information on that set up on our San Marcos Police Department Facebook page, as well as we'll put information in our press release that we'll send out later today. And we already have funds set up, the latest one for Officer Paul Beller, so they'll be very quickly and easily set up, and we'll get that information out to the public. And we do thank everyone for their generosity. We've already had people providing donations, and we thank you for that very much. Joining me at the podium today, we do have our Mayor, Jane Hewson, here to my right, and we also have Director of Public Safety, Chase Stapp, is to my left, and then Interim Police Chief Bob Klett is going to speak to us and give us details on the incidents.
Thank you. It's with a heavy heart that I stand before you today to provide details about the fatal shooting incident at Twin Lake Via's apartments on Hunter Road that occurred Saturday evening. The tragedy resulted after our officers responded to the apartment complex following a call for 911 call for domestic disturbance about 6:05 p.m. Yesterday. During the course of their response, the suspect ambushed officers inside with a rifle. Following the breach of the residence by the Hays County SWAT team, SMPD, and multiple responding agencies, the shooter was found inside the residence of the apartment complex deceased from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Officer Justin Putnam was fatally wounded at the scene, and Officers Franco Stewart and Officer Justin Mueller were wounded and transported to Ascension Seton Hayes, where they underwent surgery last night. Both officers are in critical but stable condition in the ICU. We lost a fine young man, a faithful officer and friend last night. Justin Putnam was 31 years old and had been an SMPD officer for 5.5 years. He graduated from Texas State University, magna cum laude, and so he understood what it took to police a wonderfully diverse community like San Marcos and a college community and serve it very well. And he leaves behind a fiance and a family that also has public safety background, so we pray for the family. Our 2 wounded officers have both been with SMPD as officers for less than a year. Officer Franco Stewart has been with SMPD for 5 months, and prior to that he was an officer with the McAllen Police Department for 2.5 years. Officer Justin Mueller has been an SMPD officer for 10 months, and prior to that he served as one of our telecommunications operators for more than 11 years. Our prayers are with these 2 officers and their families as they fight to recover from their wounds. The deceased shooter has preliminarily been identified as Alfredo Perez de la Cruz, date of birth January 13th, 1974, of San Marcos. We are working with the Texas Rangers to confirm his identity, and if he has a criminal record, as it appears he may have operated under several different aliases. I want to thank several of our regional partners in law enforcement and agencies who have assisted us with this tragedy. We are so appreciative of each of you. Texas Rangers is taking the lead on the investigation, And then a swarm of agencies came out to help us last night, and I'll probably forget some, but Hays County Sheriff's Office, Kyle Police Department, the Buda Police Department, New Braunfels Police, Texas State University Police Department, constables, Highway Patrol, and certainly EMS and fire were critical in helping save our two officers' lives. As many of you know, this is a second line of duty death for the San Marcos Police Department since Officer Kenneth Copeland was shot and killed while serving a warrant on December 4th, 2017. We ask the community for its prayers and support. We're certainly going to need it, and we will provide additional information as it becomes available. Thank you. I'll entertain a few questions.
Regarding that domestic violence call, do we know the condition of the individual, the family members involved in that?
The family members are fine. The initial call was that he had hit his wife, that there was other endangered people possibly inside, and that alcohol was involved.
When did the gunfire transpire?
Officers knew that one of the victims were outside and that there was probably some more inside, so they had to make entry into the apartment. As they entered, he ambushed them. He was prepared, ready for them to come in, and started shooting immediately, and there was nothing they could do to escape the gunfire.
Did the officers have any kind of body protection at the time?
The officers had their body armor that they normally wear. I'd like to mention also that part of his preparation for the officers coming in, the suspect did as well. Thank you for being here. Like I said, we've had a lot of tragedy recently, and we appreciate those prayers from the community, and thank you for being here today.
Somebody still needs to get those. Yeah, there you go, thanks.
Is that good for everyone? Should I swear it up, or is this okay?